Time to call to order the Johnson County Council meeting for October 13th, 2025. Amy, will you do a roll call, please?
Pamela Burton,
Present.
Jonathan Myers, John Mallers,
Here.
Michelle Ann Graves, here, John Dittmers,
Here.
Ron Bates,
Present.
and Melinda Griesemer is currently absent.
I believe she might be on Zoom at this point. Correct?
I'm here, present.
There you are.
Melinda Griesemer here.
Okay, I am going to give an invocation. So if you care to join me, bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, as we conclude our budget hearings, we want to thank you for your guidance and your wisdom and the spirit of cooperation among this county and the decisions that were made here to serve our community with fairness, integrity, and compassion. We also want to give thanks for the safe release of the war hostages today. It's a powerful reminder of your mercy and faithfulness. We pray for continued peace, healing, and hope where it's needed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Stand for the invocation. I'm sorry, for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, on tonight's, the next item on the agenda is approval of tonight's agenda. And we have a couple of changes on G11. We're going to insert a G11 under routine matters. And you were given notice from the Johnson County Veterans Services that they're transferring funds and creating a new line item. So $189.98. They need a new line item to pay for some small office equipment. So that is under the consent agenda for G11, if there's any questions. And then also under H 2.5, under salary ordinances, amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. H 2.5 is a discussion with Mr. Maston at the Highway Department regarding a part-time engineer rate. So we will add that. So if there are no other additions or subtractions, Amy, that's just those two. Okay, so I'm prepared to take a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So move. Everybody's old.
Okay.
It's done.
So we have a motion by Mr. Bates and a second by Mr. Dittmers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it passes. So next is public comments, kept to agenda items only. We would ask that you come to the podium and it's limited to 5 minutes in person per person. Okay, seeing no one come to the podium, at this time, we need to convene a public hearing today, October 13th, 2025, at 6:06 p.m. to receive comment on approving a county council ordinance 2025-09. And this is an ordinance of the Johnson County Council authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds for the purpose of providing funds to acquire vehicles, acquire and install certain equipment, complete certain projects, and make certain improvements and renovations, and to pay the costs of issuance of the bonds and, adopting? Okay, adopting the additional appropriations of the proceeds of such bonds. Members of the public appearing at this hearing have a right to be heard regarding the additional appropriation of the proceeds of the bond and approval of the ordinance. Is there anyone present this evening who would like to be heard? If so, come to the podium. With no one appearing to comment, we will now close the public comment portion of the hearing. Okay, so we are now prepared to take a motion to approve item B on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve item B, public hearing on an additional appropriation of bond proceeds as presented.
So do we include that ordinance as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. We do includes item C as well.
And I would amend that motion to include item C, approval of ordinance 2025-09.
Second.
We have a first by Mrs. Graves, a second by Mr. Bates. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Hold on.
We're gonna do roll call on this one because we have one more that's electronic.
Okay,
Jonathan Myers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
John Dimmers,
Aye.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
And just for the public, we did a roll call vote because we have a council member appearing on Zoom. So we needed a verbal vote from there. So I apologize, I missed that. Okay, so now item D, moving forward to adoption of the 2026 county budget.
Did you close the public
Um,
hearing?
I'm sorry?
Did we close the public?
Yes, I
hearing? Okay.
closed the public hearing. So, there are some housekeeping items that, need to be read into record that, Mr. Myers has in front of him, and he's going to take on the task of reading those into record before we move on for approval and adoption of the 2026 county budget.
Thank you, President. Right, all of these 7 items are following our changes for final adoption of the 26 budgets. Item 1 is Commissioners 1001-14200-00000-0122 FICA Social Security in the amount of $1,950,000. That's 1950000. Reduced to $1,800,000. 1800000. Next item is 1001-143000000-0122 PERF in the amount of $2,240,000. That's 2240000, increased to $2,300,000, 2300000. Next item is 1001-30026-00000-0122 principal and interest $0. Add $300,000, that's 300000. That completes item 1, Commissioners. Item 2 is Fleet 1001-12230-00000-0144 Foreman in the amount of $60,684. That's 60684, increased to $60,930. That's 60930 to match the 2025 salary. That completes item 2. Item 3 is Animal Shelter 4008-11365-00000-0219 Deputy Warden in the amount of $49,493, 49493, increased to $52,269, that's 52269, to match the 2025 salary. That completes item 3. Item 4, WIC 8229 out the entire whole fund. And there's a note, this fund is being removed from the budget process as its fiscal year is October through September. It will be on the regular agenda for appropriations. That completes item 4. Item 5 is mental health court. 9178-3160-00000-0138 operating expenses in the amount of $5,000, 5000, reduced to $0. Completes item 5. Item 6, part-time rates. Probation or Unified Mental Health Court, Fund 9178, location 0297, add $20 to $22. That completes item 6. Item 7, does anybody want to take a restroom break? Item 7, specialized pay, Unified Probation, Fund 1009, location 0138.
Nope, fund,
Oh, I'm sorry.
fund,
Fund 1001.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I needed to take a break. Location 0138, add trading specialization, $76.92 biweekly, 76.92 biweekly. That completes item 7.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we should take a vote on D prior to moving on to the resolution, correct? Okay, so those are the changes for the adoption of the 2026 county budget. I'm prepared for a motion, and Amy will do a roll call vote, please.
She can't.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And just for the public's information, the council people in person will be the only ones voting. Tiffany, do you want to briefly state why we won't be taking a vote via Zoom?
Yes, under Indiana state law, 514-1.5-3.5, since 2021, members that are voting on adopting final budgets cannot appear via electronically. They have to be in person. So that has been a state law since 2021.
Okay, thank you. So with that being said, I'm open for a motion for item D on the agenda.
Move to approve adoption of the 2026 county budgets.
Second.
Do I need to say as
As amended.
As amended.
amended with the descriptions that John Myers
Correct.
stated?
Correct. So we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Mallers and a second by Mr. Myers. And we'll take a roll call vote. Amy?
Jonathan Myers,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Yes.
Michelle
Aye.
Graves,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
Okay, and okay. All opposed? Hearing none, it passes. And moving on to item E, which still pertains to the 2026 county budget. It's approval of its 2025-12, and this is our annual salary ordinance. So I am prepared for a motion for.
And we had no changes on that, correct, Amy?
Everything was updated, including correcting the salary for the registered surveyor, non-surveyor.
Okay.
and
We
coroner.
did that.
And the discussions that were held at budget
Okay.
hearings were all included.
Well, then I will make a motion to approve item E, approval of ordinance 2025-12, 2026 annual, or no, I'm on the wrong one.
No,
No, I-
you're right,
You're right.
you're right.
Salary ordinance, as presented.
Right. So we have a first by Mrs. Graves,
Second?
second by Mr. Mallers, and we'll have another roll call vote, please.
Jonathan Myers,
Yes.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Pamela Burton.
Yes.
Michelle Graves.
Yes.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
And the final order of business pertaining to the 2026 county budget will be approval of ordinance 2025-11. And this is an ordinance granting the recorder's request to use monies from the recorder's Records Perpetuation Fund to pay the recorder's operating expenses, the recorder's office salaries, perf, and social security for 2026. This is something that our recorder has done for the county for several years, and it's much appreciated. And I'd like to say that in a public meeting. So thank you. Ready for a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second,
We have a motion by Mr. Myers and a second by Mrs. Graves. Amy, would you also do a roll call vote, please?
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
John Mallers.
Aye.
Pamela Burton.
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves.
aye.
John Dittmer.
Aye.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
All opposed, none, so that also passes. Are we good on the 2026 county budget items? Okay, so moving forward, the next items are starting with G, that is routine matters and our consent agenda. And by a single motion, the board approves the following items listed, which may include salary ordinances amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. Any items listed on the consent agenda may be removed by a council member and moved to the regular agenda. So are there any items that any of the council members would like moved to the regular agenda for discussion? Hearing none, I'm prepared to take a motion.
Motion to approve the consent agenda, item G, and adding item 11, Johnson County Veterans.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Myers,
Second.
a second by Mr. Dittmers. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none.
Roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We do have to do a roll call because we have a Zoom member. I apologize again. So Amy, go ahead.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. So now you're letting me vote? I'm
Well,
confused.
yes, ma'am. Would you like to vote?
Absolutely. I never said I
you.
didn't want to. You guys are icing me out here, and I need the
Okay.
citation of what Tiffany just said. Give me the citation.
Go ahead. Okay, so once again, we're going to go to consent agenda. If you want to do a roll call, start at this end. We'll try it again going this way.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
John Dittmers.
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves.
Aye.
Pamela Burton.
Aye,
John Mallers.
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer.
I
thank you.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
need the citation
Okay.
from Tiffany.
We can send that to you via email. It was just stated for the public this evening. Be happy to email those to you. We're going on the agenda, and she can circle back around with that information and clarification for you.
Yes, she will need to
So
do that.
moving on, the next item is H, salary ordinances, amendments, additional appropriations, reductions, and transfers. So first up would be our highway department.
Good evening, Luke Maston, Highway Supervisor. Items 1 and 2 are for the same project. Item 1 is an additional appropriation in the CUMCAP fund, and item 2 is an additional appropriation in a new reimbursement fund. This is for the preliminary engineering contract of our Bridge 61 project, which we were awarded earlier this year. The CUMCAP appropriation is the local funded portion of that contract. And then item number 2 is the federally funded portion for which we'll get reimbursed.
Where is that bridge, Lou?
It is on 600 West, just north of 300 South. over, yeah, that's in the south part of Union.
You also, there's
Almost
a
ends.
map on attached to his information.
Oh, there is.
There's a Google Earth map. Shows us where it is. Okay, it's been a while coming.
Moved to approve.
Okay, we have a motion for items 1 and 2, correct?
Correct.
On the floor.
Second.
We have a first by Mr. Dittmers, a second by Mr. Mallers. Roll call vote, please.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion, hearing no nays, motion passes. So we have item H 2.5, which was added to the agenda this evening. You sent an email this afternoon with some information. So do you just want to start from the beginning and?
Sure. Yes, so we were actually approached with a pretty unique opportunity that wasn't on our radar, which is there's a retired civil engineer in the county, actually grew up in the county and is moving back or in the process of moving back, who's interested in assisting at the local level. In particular, he has a lot of experience with NDOT and in the private sector as well, focused on structure design and structure sizing, which is one of the areas right now that we can use some assistance. He was looking for something part-time, and we are going to request this evening a part-time rate for him, which seems pretty high, of $65 an hour. But that is quite a bit less than he is, or he did make and would make in the private sector. His focus seems to be on not just having something to do, but trying to do something meaningful with his free time and retirement. So one of the benefits that his knowledge gives us, I've mentioned a few times now that we have some designer positions we've had some difficulty filling. His knowledge is key to what those positions would do. So by bringing him on, even as part-time, that opens up the pool of people that we can potentially bring on in those full-time positions, as he has that skill set and would be great at helping them learn those kind of obscure structure sizing tasks that most draftsmen don't know. So
I read the gentleman's resume and it was very impressive.
yes.
I will tell you, Luke, I'm a little confused because council's purview is not looking at resumes for the
Yes.
different departments. That's would be under you and the commissioners. When I was looking at it originally, just for me personally, I thought we already had an established line item for this part-time position, but I don't think we do.
We don't have separate line items for part-time. We just have one overall part-time.
Mhm.
What we don't currently have is an approved part-time rate to pay for the services that he would be providing.
Okay.
We have some others that are approved in the normal budget cycle. This just came up literally
Okay.
within the last few weeks as an option.
I don't know that this is something we can vote on this evening. I personally did a deep dive this afternoon on the actual wage of that type of position and you're there within guidelines, but I don't know that we have the authority to basically put the cart before the horse. I think maybe get the line item established, so we'll have somewhere to put the money to approve it, but I don't know, somebody help me out here. Is there any questions that you have?
I would be concerned, because, and help me with this, but our part-time rates for a part-time in your office, your department, has a low end and a high end. And I would be concerned putting that high of a part-time rate in an open-ended part-time line item. I think I would want that drilled down to a more specific part-time line item and what those duties and requirements are at a $65 an hour rate.
Maybe a job description attached
Job
to a
description.
specific amount. I think everybody is in agreement. The amount you're talking about here is probably very doable. I think you probably need to start with the commissioners to get the line item established and the position established and then bring it back for us to fund it, maybe? I don't know. Anybody else?
Well, could I ask a question?
Sure.
So we're dealing with logistics a little bit. I think everybody's kind of in agreement here that we don't want to lose this fella. You've already lost a fella, and I think you made that mention right in your email.
Friday,
You've
yes.
lost a position or a filled position.
Lost.
And yeah. So I guess what I'd like to do is ask legal. Is there a way, I mean, through professional services? Or some other means that we could do, and ask Amy also, is there another
So,
avenue?
so he does have a part-time line item. So currently it specifies like 22 for office, 27 for mechanic. So it does specify what type of work and the dollar amount. So this one would be 65 engineer or whatever
Correct.
title is.
Yes.
That would just be the most he could pay. Doesn't mean he could pay anyone else doing any other kind of job unless they're an engineer or whatever.
That's what I was worried about. I
Yes.
didn't want that
No.
to be open-ended for anybody.
Yeah, you could specify a part-time rate for a part-time duty.
A specific.
Okay.
Yes.
So is this a budget thing?
Yes.
So that's where I'm confused.
He's asking you to set the hourly rate. Now, as far as hiring someone, that would be, I
Yeah,
guess it goes with the commission.
That's correct. Yes.
So,
So you could set the rate. but
Right,
It doesn't
right.
mean that you're accepting the position, I guess.
Right, and that's what I wanted to make clear,
Mhm.
that we absolutely have nothing to do with looking at a resume, accepting someone to be hired, establishing a position, creating anything within your department.
Correct. Yes. So
So,
my only request is a specific $65 an hour part-time rate only for an engineer, a qualified engineer.
if in fact, that should be
Yes,
approved.
That
and-
doesn't mean it's filled. That just creates the rate so that we have the option to fill it.
Where will you get the money to pay for this?
For the rest of this year, there is some part-time money left in that line item. I also have what will be unexpended funds in the FICA and the PERF line items, just due to having positions open for periods of time. So I can transfer if needed from those two line items to fund that through the end of this year. I have that money already budgeted.
And then what would you do for 26? You'd have to get
I'd have
an
to do
increase.
an additional appropriation in January.
What does that number look like?
It depends ultimately on how many hours that he wants to work. I had figured it at maybe the 40,000-ish range just for that single position.
So don't you still have positions out there that you haven't filled for a while that you've been carrying as open line items?
Yes, we're filling those, but they have been open so that whatever PERF and Social Security money would have gone along with those wages that would have been paid, that's available. I figured up what that balance is.
That's what you were going to use to fund it for 2025.
Correct, yes.
so this would be a bargain for the county, from my viewpoint. You're getting somebody that's well, in this case, I can't.
No, no, commissioners and Luke's gonna get, we have no idea
But
if they even approve it.
right, but what this enables the county to do, and we're gonna talk in position areas, is that there's a need to fill a void that currently exists, to have someone that could design or be a consultant to the county. And I think that probably what we need to do is make a motion to approve the amount of the part-time hourly rate.
For comparison, John, you make an excellent point. I went and ran some numbers on some more recent consultant contracts. It's hard to compare them perfectly, but generally he would be at the level of like a senior project manager. Once you factor in the overhead and the profit that we pay those consultants, I think that averaged like $213 an hour. So we are in a position where we could bring someone on that has those capabilities, granted in a part-time role, for a fraction of that cost and without those overhead expenditures.
Okay.
Would that be a source of funding? If you've got a line item to accommodate what you just said, is there a reappropriation opportunity here to help pay for this position? Which alleviates part of the consulting line of professional services?
There could be. Typically, I try to set that professional services line at an estimate of what we will have to contract out. So in the worst case scenario, we still may have to contract out that amount, but we don't have to contract out more, I guess, at that 3 times rate or whatever that comes out to.
So should you be able to lure a person into this position and use these rates, would that help you in your gaining of grant money or other things in the future?
It definitely could. I mean, Daniel and I were talking last week. We've got 2 project application deadlines coming up that, like always, we're going to have to scramble and try to find time to put applications in. So where this position fits in is unusual in that it's not so much we would determine what we can give that person to work on. It's more of that person can work on a lot of different things. So there are a lot of ways that they can help us. We would look to maximize that to free up time, Daniel's in particular, but some of mine as well, so that we have time to work on some of the things like that, or that ultimately we just have difficulty getting to.
And this, everything that you've said, I'm is supportive of that. My only drawback, Luke, is not hearing from the commissioners establishing, that department falls under them. So, without input from the commissioners to the council, we have this position, we are going to move forward with this, and Luke will be before you to ask for this to be established. I'm just a little confused. I don't want to move forward with something that's going to cause more trouble for you down the road. So is this something that could wait until next month?
John touched a little bit on that, I guess, how the council approval and the commissioner's approval intertwine. So if the council were to approve the part-time rate tonight or at another meeting, that's not a guarantee that the position is going to get filled or any certain person is going to be hired. On the flip side, if we wait for that decision to happen, then I have to wait for a council meeting and hope that I haven't missed, well, I guess we're talking about it now, but essentially up to an extra month once we do make that position or decision, if we do,
And
then I have to get the
you
rates.
think that will, in this particular situation, that will be a difference between, a no-go if it adds time to it?
I don't know that it would be a no-go.
Yeah.
Especially with the personnel that we lost at the end of last week. I would hate to wait if we don't need to.
Okay.
Because we could certainly use
Okay.
use that assistance.
Okay. Okay. I know Michelle has another question. Did you say Commissioner Baird is online? If he has something he wants to say?
Hi all, Brian Baird, Johnson County Commissioner.
Can you speak up, Commissioner Baird?
I'm sorry.
Okay, we can barely hear you.
Oh, don't know what that's about.
Okay, you're fine now.
Okay. Just want to make sure, I have no issue at all with the council approving the part-time wage in this line item. But I do agree, and it's our purview, that Luke would need to return to us and we would need to have a conversation about this position. We weren't aware of this till this morning, which may or not, I don't know about that. But anyway, we need to have a executive meeting and or have a conversation with Luke about this position prior to moving forward with anything as far as the commissioners.
Good, but you have no heartburn with us establishing the amount for the position if in fact, for a part-time position, if in fact it occurs or whether it does occur or does not occur.
I have no problem with you in the line item. What Luke is saying is true.
Okay.
If we wait, it could be a possibility that we may lose something that we need, but in the same matter, we still have to have some discussion.
Okay.
Are we gonna set it, how are you gonna, when you set the rate, are you going to specify? Like, how is that just, or how are you gonna enter that then that's specific to this position that doesn't exist, I guess?
We'll have to say up to that
Okay.
amount of $65.
$65 for engineer.
Engineer, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that you could clarify.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, Michelle, go right ahead.
So my question, I have a question and a comment. So my question was going to be, have you talked to the commissioners about this? And you know, what was their opinion? And we just heard from Brian Baird, so that kind of took care of that. I guess my comment is, without a job description specific for this part-time civil engineer, I would like to define that down even more than just engineer, of approving a $65 part-time rate. That's a pretty high rate for the county. I'm having a little heartburn with that. What would make that heartburn better is a specific description of qualifications and duties for that high of a part-time rate.
I'll be able to help out with a motion. But first, I'd like to hear from Commissioner Walls.
Well, do you have anything? I know Commissioner Baird was on. Do you have anything you would like to add, Mr. Walls? You're a commissioner as well.
Kevin Walls, Johnson County Commissioner. I agree with Commissioner Baird, but if this rate is not established soon, this individual will, I know, has other places he could go immediately. So it's a little backwards on this one because this one kind of came at the last, I mean, it just happened. And you, obviously you've got to exploit when things happen. You got to take business opportunities. So that's why I'm here today, supporting Luke on this. I mean, we've got to talk about it as commissioners. I feel very strongly that this is a needed position. I know the rate's high, but your quality is going to be high too.
But we don't have that documented in front of us tonight, and that'll be my hang up when we vote. I'm sorry.
That's
It's a big number for part-time, just to put it out there at.
opposed to the $213 number that he talked about earlier, and that's a real number.
Paying anyone 213. We're talking about 65 that this council is saying, here's an open checkbook without anything on paper for why. So that's just my hang up.
Okay, well, that's
Yeah.
fine. So
Well, I have a comment. I mean, $65 an hour, actually, if he was working full time, that only would come up to $135,000 a year. And that for an engineer is actually pretty fair, but he won't be full time. He'll just be part time. So I'm in support of this.
I think I could have gotten 100% behind it if we would have had those specs in writing, some kind of tangible
You talked job description.
limitations. Yeah, like a job description and qualifications. That's what's giving me heartburn. I mean, I know we trust Luke, but what happens when Luke's not here and someone else is in that spot? I just try to set the county up for victory, and without those specifics in front of me, I have heartburn.
I just want to know, it would
Sometimes-
just be from now until the end of the year.
So between now and then, we could request.
From now
Yeah.
through 2025. And then-
Request.
I mean, he'll get it to you when he comes to us. He's going to have a full job description set up. I think the only thing he's setting right now is the rate,
Okay.
and until that rate's used,
And rate for
and you
2025.
establish, you know, if you establish the rate, we'll establish possibly the position.
All right.
Like I said, it's a little back.
So what about this? Luke, you have to come back before us in January anyway. right? To do appropriation of funds for different things to set the record straight. Could we do a motion to, and this is not a motion, this is just an idea. Something to take us through the end of 25. And then when you come back in January with the job description, the commissioner's decisions, and have it all the ducks in a row, and then do this again to finalize it for 26. How about that?
Just remember, what we do for one, we do for all. So we could possibly have other departments and offices come to us for some,
In
big part-time numbers.
I've gotten into trouble before for shooting from the hip,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's been a good move. And I think this is a good move for the county. This is something that will save the county money. And it may be a shot from the hip as far as council goes.
Yeah.
However, in the scheme of things, it's really not. And I would like to make a motion.
Okay.
One other thing I'd like to add real quick. When we had an empty engineer's position at the county, if you all remember, if you were here, that position went unfilled for over a year. Because we couldn't find an engineer that would accept the pay to come down here. They stay in the private sector. Like I said, this is a unique opportunity that you have a retired civil engineer that has the experience behind him that he has with NDOT experience and consultant experience, willing to come to us being a county resident, approaching and saying, hey, I'd like to help out. So that's why it's a unique situation, how this popped up.
So before we can have any further discussion, we already have a motion on the floor, but you're gonna need to explicitly state what your motion is.
I haven't stated the motion.
Oh, so I'm asking you if you would, please.
Ready for one?
Yes, please.
All right, I'll try this. Okay, this is for a motion to approve a part-time rate of $65 an hour, effective from today's date until January 31st of this year, and we'll revisit it for an additional appropriation after that.
Give me
December 31st.
I'm sorry,
You're
December
good.
31st.
Yeah.
And this is for the position of a engineer, professional, design professional, to be appointed by the commissioners in coordination with the highway director. Have I missed anything?
And a job description provided.
Oh, yeah, and a job description to be provided before the next year. Well, the next commissioners meeting,
27.
the 27th.
I think you covered that pretty good.
Okay,
So we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Myers.
second.
We have a second by Mr. Bates. And Amy before we vote, is there further discussion?
Do we need to know where the funds come from?
He covered that. It's going to be existing funds he has left over from PERF and FICA and different areas. He won't be asking for new money from now to the end of the year.
Okay.
Correct?
Current budgeted expenses.
Yep. So any further discussion? Hearing none, Amy, would you do a call vote, please?
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Campbell Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesemer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Okay, I just had brain fade. All in favor, everyone voted. Anybody opposed? Hearing none, passes. I'm sorry, Luke, that we put you through that. It was just rather confusing.
And honestly, thank you. I know this came up very quickly. I appreciate you letting me discuss this at tonight's meeting so that puts us in the best chance to potentially move forward. So thank you very much for that.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is statewide 911 request for overtime.
Each on via Zoom.
I believe we have someone for this request.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Barely.
Can you hear me?
Barry, can you speak up?
I'm trying.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. So this. Get the rest of 2025 for our overtime budget. Sorry, Keith Grant, 911 director.
Fourth word.
It's driving.
I'm sorry.
Fourth word. Is that word?
Can you try that again? That's my signal must not be great.
Understanding you. I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, I know, I had some questions for Heath regarding this. Since we're not able to communicate well, should we table this for next month?
We had requested a meeting with Heath and he's not available and I forget what date it was.
Yeah, last
And
week.
to be honest with you, for me, it opened up a rabbit hole of questions. So I just don't feel that this meeting in our situation is we can delve into those questions. So I would be in favor of that, but I'd like to hear from everyone else and Heath if he's available to talk to us, but I don't know that we're going to get the communication there. So
For a motion to.
no, I'm looking for discussion.
I don't know if you
Got the
are you able to hear me?
emails from the research that we did and the questions that we were going to have. So,
I think based on the emails and the discussion that you just talked about and the fact that we can't really communicate, I think tabling it makes sense.
okay.
I agree.
So someone, yes,
I
answer
would
your
ask,
question,
would
sir.
ask is if there is an immediacy to this.
Amy,
The line item's already in the red, so can you approve at least a couple thousand?
how far is it read? You don't know?
Do we know how much has been expended year to date? Have there been transfers into this line item?
Yes,
And-
he always
Yes,
transfers before he
discussed
comes to
that.
you.
Okay,
He doesn't do that.
so that was obviously going to be one of the other questions is there anywhere else to transfer this money from?
No.
So we're kind of in a catch-22. We don't have a choice. If his people are going to get paid, we've got to do. So we're at a position, this really isn't in our lap to
Well,
table it.
Been nice.
he should have some open positions for a couple $1,000s. Is there a couple $1,000s in one of those line items to
He's already
transfer?
made all the transfers to date that he can, I believe.
Are there any other line items you could transfer out of, Heath? Can you hear me?
In that fund, he
yeah, I
has the salaries.
And you
If
don't know how
are you
much
able to
he
hear me at
spent
all?
today?
I can hear you just fine.
No, we can't hear anything here.
I don't
Well-
know if Melinda, if you're able to relay, maybe there probably is. I do have 2 open positions that I can probably move some money out of until next month. To get us through this.
Okay, he said he has 2 open positions that he can move money from in the meantime until next month to
But
cover.
that needs to be something that's done immediately, according to Amy, because it's already in the red. So can you get this done immediately?
As soon as I get back in the office on Wednesday,
Will that be sufficient, Amy? Okay,
He said he can do it next Wednesday when he gets back in the office.
thank you, Melinda. So did we have a motion?
I was gonna make a
Okay,
motion to table it to the next meeting.
okay. So we have a motion on the floor to table this request until the next meeting. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a second by, first by Mr. Bates, a second by Mrs. Graves. So is there any further discussion on statewide 911? Hearing,
I have a question.
uh-huh.
So if we table this, is it going to happen that what is needed going to happen? Or do you need something to happen tonight by the council?
He just said he had a couple open positions. He has a little bit, he could still transfer.
Okay, so tabling it is okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So any further discussion? Hearing none, a roll call vote.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion passes. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the next one. Okay, motion passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next item, sheriff, jail, lit, correctional rehab facilities.
Good evening, Andy Barnhart, Chief Deputy.
Hi, Andy.
We just need some additional appropriations to get this through the rest of the year. Food is for the inmates, of course, and there's nothing we can do about that. And the operating supplies, same situation. Our numbers have been up and everything's costed more.
Any discussion?
What's your count right now? You said your numbers are up.
The last report we had was 380.
280.
380.
380.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so your numbers of population are up and then are your food costs increased or?
Yes, they've gone up some, correct, yeah.
Further discussion? Hearing none, I'm prepared to take a motion.
Move to approve.
A motion by Mr. Mallers,
Second.
a second by Mr. Dittmers. Roll call, please.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next up, community corrections juvenile.
Steve Kermode, Assistant Director, Adult Community Corrections. I am a proxy for Damon Cox. He's on vacation. But I believe this is a grant that was approved in June. And then they got some final numbers and they received less than what they had originally anticipated due to statewide cutting in some funding. So these are numbers to reflect the actual numbers. Is that right, Amy?
So is it a transfer or is it 3 reductions and then 1 additional appropriation?
It's 3 reductions and they're moving it into the office supplies, correct? Yeah.
Got it. Sorry.
I'd move to approve.
We have a motion for approval by Mr. Dittmers,
Second.
a second by Mr. Bates. Roll call.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesimer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the WIC program.
Hello, again. Tracy Smith, WIC coordinator from the Johnson County Public Program. I believe Amy, oh, and I have Angela here. She's our breastfeeding coordinator and she always comes along to the meetings with me. I think Amy forwarded you the email about the request that I had, but I do have a paper copy if you guys want.
Slow down just a little bit.
Sorry.
Amy said, I'm looking at your grant distribution.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that what we're gonna discuss first?
I'm here to appropriate my 2026 grant.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also because I received my grant after budget hearings, which I mentioned before, I didn't know what my numbers were gonna be.
Mhm.
Since then we've got them back, and so it doesn't support what was requested during budget hearings of the 3%.
Right.
So that's just a little change there with the 2% instead of 3%.
So the first item on here is all of these entries that we see
Yeah.
are all appropriations
Mhm.
for your grant.
Yep.
Based on the final numbers that you
Yes.
did receive from the grant.
That's correct.
Correct?
Yep.
And then we all got an email today.
Yes.
And that's what you're wanting to discuss now,
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a question for
You go right
clarification
ahead.
because I did get confused.
Do you want the?
Well,
okay.
the numbers, so we're appropriating these monies because the grant runs on a different
Mhm.
calendar.
Correct.
The full-time wages that we're approving here, that you're requesting, were those the numbers that were approved at second reading in budget?
Yes.
So your full-time employees, those are the numbers that came back in the WIS study and we went with them. Okay,
Yep.
so those didn't change,
Mm-mm.
just the
Just
part-time?
The reduction of the part-time.
okay.
Yeah, nothing's changed there.
Just wanted to make sure.
No, you're good. All good questions. Okay, so you want to discuss?
Well, we already discussed the initially approved budget. So my ask today would be if you guys would consider a one-time stipend for full and part-time of what it would be equivalent for a 2% raise, which would be lower than what the stipend of the $1,500 would presented for full-time. And that could still be supported out of our WIC grant award. So that would not come out of the general fund. Typically WIC funds exclusively on its own. So that would be a suggestion. And then other suggestion is utilizing the county stipend and then being able to do a stipend for the 2% for part-time out of my grant funds.
I want to say that I respect you for coming. And I
Mhm.
know that's gonna lead into, bad news. I also want to say that I recognize that you're totally self-contained
Mhm.
and nothing is infecting the general fund.
Mhm.
I also recognize that you're trying to reward in the same way you're full-time as your part-time because they do, according to you, they have the same job description. They just work different hours.
Correct.
Okay. My position, Tracy, I have to be honest with you, this will go upstream from everything we've done in the budget process. And I'm only one, so I'm
Right.
just giving you my thoughts. If we do this now, we basically are looking at the face of 750 other people saying, we couldn't do it for you, but we're going to do it here. I realize you came with a solution to the problem.
Mhm.
I'm not saying they're not worth it. You know, had you thought about it before, and I don't even know that this would work, maybe you could have increased just until, you know, for that one cycle, the amount of money you're paying them for part-time, but I know you don't want to get that into the payroll either, because then that makes a difference moving forward. I don't know that that's a good backdoor way at all, but I'm sorry, but I can't support it. Not that I don't agree with it or it's not worth it, just because it does not, you know, it just won't fit into what we've done for everybody else. So, and I apologize for that because I wish it could work.
Right. So what I think I hear you say is that we're going to go with the initially what was approved during budget hearings, which is the stipend for the full-time people, and then limit the 2% increase because that's what my grant award would allow for the part-time people. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Did you increase your part-time rate?
No, it's lowered. It was, I came in at budget hearings at 3%, which was those approved rates. Now I'm asking for 2%, not 3%.
Well, I think since your number, and stop me if I'm wrong here, because I don't know if I want to make sure I'm looking at this right. But so we had the original numbers and you went with those numbers for your part-time people. And now that has changed, right? For what?
No, I mean, like, because you guys approved a 3% raise. I can't do that.
We didn't approve. Our intentions was not to approve any percentages at all, anywhere.
That's what it equaled, like that's what it equaled within the part-time rates of what was approved during budget hearing.
You may have calculated it at that.
Right.
But we didn't, we were only presented a number.
Right.
$1 to $15 or whatever it was. There was no percentages. If you calculated that and it came out to that.
Yeah, I'm trying to, say that's what the calculator would be, but the rates that were approved during the budget hearings, those rates will actually be, or those hours would be lower.
your part-time rates during, that were approved at budget hearing?
It equaled to 3%.
No, I don't want to talk percentages. How
What
much
number?
money are you paying your part-time people?
There is a range from 3150 to 3557.
Okay, so that would have been what we would have approved for your part-time rate.
And that changed from
It-
2025?
What was approved was up to 3628, I believe. Amy, was that right with the numbers last time?
No, that, I don't-
Okay,
but that's the highest.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you asking us to increase your part-time rates based on the new numbers that you got from your grant? Is that, Amy, is that what I'm hearing her ask? Cause I'm really
Mm-mm,
confused.
Mm-mm,
You're not asking.
I'm not.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
so.
Are you asking to decrease it? Is that, okay, but you have the ability as what the council approved up to the $36. So
Right.
you're saying that WIC said no. The state said that rate was too high.
What I presented at the budget hearing, that is correct. It
Okay.
went too high, yes.
So you're essentially asking for them to approve a lower rate, which if the way that we wrote the salary ordinance is a max.
Right.
So she could already do that. Is
Yeah.
that-
Just
Yeah,
don't pay
it's
it.
under, yeah.
Does it have a lower end to the range?
Mhm.
Or do we
Yes.
Yes.
the lower end of the range?
No.
No.
It's just
No, it's still the same. Everything's within the range. I'm not asking for higher or anything like that.
I'm gonna have to have some help here because I'm totally
So your
confused and
budget
I've
would
been
be
looking at
lower.
this grant for years.
Yes, your budget is gonna come in lower.
Yep.
Okay.
I am prepared just to approve what we approved at second reading with no
That's fine.
changes.
But I think.
But
There was a few changes.
yeah,
The fight
because of the
for
numbers that came
different
in.
Things like
Oh.
that. So forget budget, because you've already zeroed that out.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah,
The
So-
request is what's in front of you now on the regular agenda.
And so the full-time salaries match up to what we approved at the second reading, based on the West salary guidelines.
That's what she said.
yeah.
And then the part-time rate is still gonna work that we approved.
Because it's within the
you're
range.
just-
Yeah, it's still the same range. Just
Okay,
lower. Yeah,
I'm good
it's under-
then.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody gonna try to make that motion? Amy, you wanna make the or you wanna give us some?
As presented.
Yeah, as presented,
Oh, that was easy.
yeah. Because what she's saying, what is on their request is basically second reading.
Okay, thank you, Tracy.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
That was hard.
It was hard.
I'll make a motion if everyone's ready.
Further discussion?
I will make a motion to approve H6 10.557 WIC program as presented.
I have a motion by Mrs. Graves,
I'll second.
a second by Mr. Mallers. Roll call vote, please.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
John Dittmers.
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves.
Aye.
Pamela Burton.
Aye.
John Mallers. Melinda Griesimer.
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
All right. Thank you. Sorry for confusing.
I'm easily confused.
Oh, it's been a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amy is a box of Crayolas just for me.
That's nice. Can I have one too? Thanks, guys.
Next up, innkeeper's tax collection.
Good evening, I'm Ken Kosky, Director, Johnson County CBT Board. And I've got with me Felicia Houston, Operations and Creative Services Director. Before we get to that, we obviously commemorated the bicentennial with things like that banner there. And with the country's 250th coming up next year, we created a series of posters to commemorate that. And we would, at this time, like to present one to the county. And you can hang it there or wherever you like, but
Can I take it home?
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Maybe we'll get with the commissioners and see, they'll have, maybe find a spot for it.
exactly.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And then moving on to our quarterly appropriation. So this past year, we created our largest ever cooperative advertising program where every dollar we put in with Visit Indiana, they matched $1. So we put a total of 150,000 in that, which allowed us to get $300,000 worth of advertising. And we've agreed to do that again next year, and that payment will be coming due. In addition, just this evening, I tallied all the grants that we awarded, and you can see that just in the last couple months, we've added creating Downtown Plaza in Edinburgh and in Trafalgar. And then just at our last meeting, $40,000 for a public game plaza to increase the attractiveness of downtown Franklin. So we'll have those expenses coming up, and we're pleased to be able to be putting money into our communities because we feel advertising and community enhancement are our two main missions. So that's kind of where we are with those two.
So I think you're on the agenda twice, if I'm understanding that right, Pam. So this request is just for your quarterly distribution.
Yes,
And then we're approving your budget next in other business?
that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure I'm on the right page.
And that's another budget.
Okay, any further discussion on the innkeeper's tax collection on the information that was just given to us? We can take a vote on number 7 first and then move on to the second item. Okay, I'm ready for a motion for number 7 on the innkeeper's tax collection.
Move approved.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Dittmers, a second by Mr. Bates. Amy, would you take a roll call vote?
Ron Bates.
Aye.
John Dittmers.
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves.
Aye.
Pamela Burton.
Aye.
John Mallers.
Aye.
Melinda Creeksimmer.
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, and the next item will be the in-person council members only to vote. It is approval of a budget. So Johnson County CVT approval of the 2026 budget.
Yes, and I believe you got copies of that in advance. And basically, we're holding the line. The budget is totaling $39 less than last year. So it's essentially the same budget. The main difference is that I've worked with Michelle Graves, and before our budget categories and what we put into QuickBooks didn't match up, so we couldn't reconcile and show how we were doing in each category. This budget categorizes things in a way that will match up with QuickBooks, and it also has a little more detail so you can track it better in 2026.
Okay.
So
That was one of my questions, because that's a big one.
Yeah.
It's hard to compare apples to apples when they don't match up.
and we're going to do that mid-year, but then it would have been confusing to have half the year in the old and half the year in.
Question, so $39 less than your 25 budget, where did you find the savings?
So you can see how much we awarded in grants. We trimmed some from grants because we feel like the 3 major projects that we wanted to do have been accomplished this year and paid for. So we feel we can trim a little bit of that and then still maintain any other growth. I mean, every service we have has gone up in price, as I imagine you've seen with all the people that have come before you and said how much fuel is and all these things. So we're kind of in the same boat, but
So that would have been a decrease, if I'm reading the budget proposal correctly, a decrease in grants, sponsorships, and product development.
yeah.
So
But it's
20,
still, yeah.
how much lower? What did you cut? How much?
Leave sponsorships. I think. Oh, here it is. Sorry. So that was 290,000 and it will go to 216, but the 216 that we have, that will more than cover what we gave out the previous 2 years, which was 173,000 and 144,000. So like I said, with us pretty much covering all the things that we wanted to cover this year, we feel that that will be more than sufficient to cover all the partnerships that we'll have next year.
So if I'm doing the math right, that's a $74,000 deduction to grants, sponsorships, and product development. So to me, you're taking the money from the very essence of what this CBT is supposed to do, and you're using it for administrative expenses. So your admin expenses have gotten higher, and your ability to do these grant sponsors and product development has gone down. That's a problem for me. What did your board think of that?
It was actually, we hadn't closed that gap, or we hadn't expanded that gap quite that much, but unlike all the other county employees, we have never had health insurance. So I proposed that we just start working towards that, but they said that they wanted to fund health insurance for us for the first time next year. So that accounts for the majority of it is health insurance, quite frankly. As you know, that's quite expensive. So once we have that in the line item, you'll see going forward that I think we'll hold the line on that and keep, as we grow our revenue, put more of that back into grants and advertising. So that's kind of a one-time adjustment just to do that benefit for the employees.
But that would be an annual expense though, right?
Yeah. But we're getting some new hotels online, and when we get those hotels online, I don't see us hiring more staff or adding additional benefits beyond the ones we already have. We would instead replenish that grant fund and put even more into advertising. So that's our strategy going forward.
Well, I know there was a lot of discussion when the county first decided to adopt this tax that this very scenario would happen, that it just becomes, more admin costs than actual production work in the convention, visitor, and tourism area. So I do have some concerns about that, but that's all my questions.
And we do operate with half the staff of convention, visitor, and tourism bureaus of counties our size. So we do try to run lean, and we know that that's your wish, and we don't have any plans to increase our staff. We feel that we'll be fine for many years going forward.
Any further discussion?
How many staff members do we have now?
We have 4 full-time.
Was the health insurance premium accounted for in the benefits line?
Yes, it is. That and yes.
So that number went up.
Yes.
So they don't have 25's number.
Right, correct.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'm prepared to take a motion.
I move to approve.
A motion on the floor by Mr. Bates,
Second.
second by Mr. Mallers. Roll call. Yes, roll call vote, please.
Jonathan Myers,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Nay.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Ron Bates.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in new business, approval of the 2026 council meeting schedule. Not really a whole lot of discussion there. It kind of follows the same schedule as we go by. Budget hearings are always to be announced as the time gets closer. And I don't see anything any different from prior years, Amy, is nothing there, so. That's your commitment to be here next year, right there.
Be there, be square.
Right, budget hearings mandatory.
Move to approve the council meeting schedule for 2026.
Second.
We have a first by Mr. Mallers, a second by Mr. Bates. Roll call, please.
Ron Bates,
Aye.
John Dittmers,
Aye.
Michelle Ann Graves,
Aye.
Pamela Burton,
Aye.
John Mallers,
Aye.
Melinda Griesemer,
Aye.
Jonathan Myers.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And our next regular meeting is scheduled for November the 10th at November the 10th, 2025. And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved to.
We are adjourned.